Well, the mayor was summarizing some of the actions that the city plans on taking, some of them in the next 30 days. They're calling this an economic action plan, and it's meant to strengthen and bolster the local economy here in Toronto to help it weather this trade war, essentially. So some of these measures include launching what they're calling a Love Local campaign to promote Toronto businesses, Toronto products, encouraging people to buy Canadian, to buy Toronto. They're also encouraging or going to be working with businesses to help them expand their markets globally beyond just selling their products to the United States. They're also, they announced at this news conference that the Toronto Fire Service is planning on buying 17 new pumper trucks, and they will be buying them from a Canadian company, they announced today. No cost figure on that. And the mayor also announcing a plan to defer industrial property taxes for some businesses to help them. Now, there will be certain criteria that need to be met in order to be eligible for that deferment. But in her news conference, Mayor Chow talking about the long-standing economic relationship between Canada and the U.S. and how it's at risk now because of this trade war. Take a listen.
This partnership supported millions of workers and businesses on both sides of the border. Toronto represents 25% of Ontario's economy with $123 billion in U.S. trade every year. And President Trump's trade war is putting all of that at risk.
Another part of this plan, which she has previously announced but was talking about again today, is looking at the city's procurement policies and amending them so that new competitive contracts under $350,000 for goods and services and under $8.8 million for construction contracts would go exclusively to Canadian companies, and potentially making U.S. companies ineligible to bid on contracts. The city is saying if it's in the city's best interest. So these are a couple of the measures that they're taking, and again, they're grouping these all together as an economic action plan. Just in the last few days, the city of Mississauga here in the Toronto area, their mayor, Carolyn Parrish, announcing on social media that they would be removing American flags that are flying in the city, particularly along Lake Ontario at the pier, Snug Harbor Import Credit, and removing them from sports arenas. The city of Barrie has done the same thing, removing flags that were in some of their hockey arenas, and those flags were up in part because of the U.S. teams that come and play there. Other cities like Brampton are following a similar approach with the procurement policies, looking at reducing American companies that are used. So that's just here in the Toronto area, but beyond Toronto, cities like Vancouver as well, looking at procurement policies. Again, so the general theme here, trying to support Canadian businesses. And again, we know the provinces have been doing that at their level as well. So we are seeing it at the municipal level as well.
The CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick in Toronto.